Hi everyone, I'm Nicole, this is Narrow Path Journey, and in today's video I've put together some questions and answers from questions I've gotten in comments on two other of my YouTube videos regarding the Champion 224 wood chipper. So I hope you enjoy this video and you find it informative. Please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll get right to it. Question is, can longer wood chips go through one of the chutes to reduce the size of the wood chips? Now, I would say that if your wood chips are small, about this size, probably yes, but if you're using bigger chunks of wood, I wouldn't use this. Don't put this up here. Smaller pieces like this, or clean up branches and clean up leaves, I put through the top chute. But the end result, they will be a little bit longer. If you'd like to put them through the smaller chute, make sure that they are also small, regardless of what chute that you use. Leaves, I've mulched leaves that have been on branches, but just piles of leaves. I haven't personally tried mulching only just piles of leaves, but I would say that they would probably go into the top chute. And I don't know if you would really get like wood chips that you'd want to put in your garden, but it would certainly break the leaves up enough that you could use it for mulch or mixing if you were making like an organic soil, composting. Question number 2, what's the difference in chips from either of the chutes? I would say that the chips that you get from the top chute are a bit longer. I would say that you can get pieces that are probably about this size. Like if you're doing, like I mentioned, cleanup debris, like once you've done a lot of your branches and you've chipped your main pile, the cleanup that you have on the ground, I usually put that up top, and you'll get bigger chips. If you want them to be smaller, then you could put them in through this one maybe again, but really they blend in with all the chips, so it's really not that big of a deal. If you only use this top part, then you're going to get a whole bunch of big chips, and that's not really so much nice for walking on, but you could still, I guess, use them for around gardens that you wouldn't be stepping on perhaps. The chips that you get from this chute, however, are nice and small. They're really nice for gardens and walkways. They're nice to walk on, and they're really nice to look at. So I really do like the chips. This is the chute that I use the most. I don't really use this chute. This is more for cleanup. I don't really use it for main mulching. Like I said, leaves are probably okay in there. I haven't put leaves in this one. I'm not sure if I really would put leaves in this one. I don't know. This chute, you can chip branches up to 3 inches. I would have them pre-cut before you start the machine up so that you don't have to really waste time while it's running. The next question I've gotten is, do you have to wait for the branches to be dried? I would say that they're probably actually better when they're fresh. The reason being that the fresh branches have a moisture to them that probably helps to lubricate the machine as it's chipping the branches, versus dried branches that are a lot harder to slice through. I find this machine's actually really good with both, but I find that it seems to have I don't really know if I'd say an easier time, but the wood chips actually are nicer. I find like the fresh branches slice, whereas the branches that are dried, it has to like cut through. It takes more power maybe to cut through. So I find that the fresh branches have nicer chips, and it seems easier for the machine. I've used both, and both the chips turn out really good, but I do find that the fresh chips or fresh branches are better. So, but what I would say is, if you're using fresh branches, you're going to get fresh chips, and that might give you a different color versus when they're dried. So maybe be mindful if you're putting them in your garden. Maybe if you already have mulch, or if you already have wood chips in your garden, maybe wait until they're dried, or if you just don't even care, then whatever. Different branches will give you different colors. Fourth question, have I ever wished that I got the 338 instead of the 224? I would say no, not really, because the 338 is pretty much just a bigger engine, and it doesn't really need a bigger engine for what I do. I just have a small, about 3-acre homestead, so the yard work that we do here is fairly light. There could be years where I use it more. I wouldn't say that we've used this heavily. I've used it for a few raised beds and some garden features and things like that, but I wouldn't say that I've used it too heavily. So I don't think that we really need to have anything bigger than this one. It's the chutes, I'm pretty sure are the same size. It's just that the engine is bigger, and I don't really need it. It's cut through all the branches I put through it, and we've had this I think for 2 to 3 years. And so far we haven't had to sharpen any of the blades. It still cuts like really, really nicely. An oil change we just did this summer. My husband got to that this summer. I'm pretty sure we've had it 2 years. So we just did an oil change. Like I said, we haven't run it very heavily. So maybe if you were running it more on a weekly basis, you maybe do the oil every summer, like once a year. Other equipment you may need when you're running the wood chipper: good pair of gloves, safety glasses, earmuffs are probably a good thing, and they also have these really neat arborist type of helmets, which have the built-in earmuffs and a visor, which is pretty nice to have, even with your glasses anyways, so that pieces that fly out don't hit you in the face. You don't have to. I actually don't usually use this. Chainsawing, sure, I use that, but typically I just stick with the safety glasses. That's good enough. You're going to need your branch cutters, and if you feel a hatchet may be useful too. So that's pretty much it. It takes straight gas, not mixed. It's pretty straightforward. Instructions are right on it. And I already mentioned that different types of branches, different colored, are going to give you different types of wood chips. So the color of the wood inside is going to be different depending on the branch. But mind you, if you don't top up the wood chips on your gardens and you just let it sit for a year or two, they pretty much all turn gray anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it useful, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Maybe check out some of the other videos we have on our channel, and we'll see you next time. God bless and take care.